We continue on Black Hearts Love, and our guest in the studio today is Keisha Beard. Yay!
What's going on, man?
Yes, what's up? Keisha Beard is an independent artist that is breathing optimism into the mic with her lyricism and witty delivery. Emerging from a past of addiction and utter darkness, Keisha is heavily endorsing love and pushing peace through her music. Her message is brilliantly simple: choose love, choose life. Keisha reigns from Seattle, Washington, with a mission to impact the entire world through her transparent stories and vulnerable truths. We first learned about Keisha while she was performing on a live Facebook feed at a show, and we knew we had to invite her to perform at one of our Black Arts Love Mixers and Marketplace series. She was very captivating, and let me tell you, her performance was amazing. So if you missed it, you missed out, but there will be more opportunities. Her performance reached all ages, and I remember even a 75-year-old guest coming up to me after the show and was literally asking about her because he had enjoyed her music so much. Her music is a universal and it reaches everyone. So we welcome Keisha. It's a pleasure to have you here joining us today on the show.
Oh, wow. Thank you for having me.
Keisha, we want to know, for those of us listening, really, who is Keisha Beard? What is your story and how did you get into music?
Oh, man. I'm many things. It's really hard to pin me down into just a paragraph, but what you said is pretty much, it does sum me up. I did come from a life of addiction. I am from Seattle, born and raised, but ultimately I never thought in a million years that I would be in music. I mean, I've always been a writer. I've always been a fan of words. Mm-hmm. I remember as a kid, I used to, while other people were out playing outside and stuff, I used to love reading the dictionary and the thesaurus.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I used to love reading the dictionary and the thesaurus, sorry. So I would always just create words, poetry and stuff like that. So I've always been a writer. So I always thought that maybe I'd be a poet or a public speaker or something like that. But I never thought that I would be into music. But, and I was a basketball player majority of my life. So I thought that that's where I was going to go, was basketball. Mm-hmm. But then that, I got injured, and that's what kind of took me out of that. And then, of course, later on, I'm not going to go into it because we have limited time. But I entered into the life of addiction, heavy drinking, and just a lustful life and stuff like that. And for the majority of my life, I've always struggled with faith, with believing in God and stuff like that. But eventually I did, of course, accept, Jesus as my Lord and Savior. And by coming into my faith and getting closer to God, I started to figure out who I am in God, and it brought me into music. And I realized that by writing and becoming and being a good writer and being really good with my words, I've learned how to write music and connect with people. Mm-hmm. And so I'm just discovering that. I'm still on this journey. I'm in the beginning of my journey of figuring that out. Mm-hmm. So it's been fun.
How long have you been doing music?
Man, it's only been just about 2 years.
Wow.
If that.
And it's taken off for you, it seems like. Yeah,
it's taken off really, really fast. I'd say I see end of 20. It's end of 2014 is when I started writing mm-hmm. to instrumentals, and then I say the beginning of 2015 is when I got into the studio and we started recording Memoirs of a Keisha, and by the springtime we were done with that. And then I just put it on many websites, and it just kind of just spread out from there. It was being played on different websites, internet radio stations. I was performing all over Seattle, mm-hmm. and, I was just passing out because I wanted my, God gave me very specific instructions that my music needed to be free mm-hmm. For those 2 projects. So I was just going around handing out my music, and people were just loving it. And it really shocked me because, I never thought that I was going to be in music. Mm-hmm. So it's taken off really fast, considering that I never rapped, I never sang, other than in the shower.
No, because you hear the stories about artists who like, oh, since I was like 3 or 4 years old, they knew that that was their passion, was singing, or and then you hear about artists like yourself who kind of they've been given a vision and then, or an inkling to do it, and then they head down that path. So it's really interesting to hear that this wasn't something that you've known your whole life was a calling for you. This came about recently. And
no, like I've always loved music.
Yeah.
Like I've always resonated and connected with music, and I've always wished that I could be. Mm-hmm. Like I remember when I was a kid, like when I was 8 years old, I used to go around and tell people I'm going to own my own record label, and it's going to be called KB Records, because I always loved music that much. But then I got older and I realized, I couldn't sing as well as such and such, and I never thought I would ever be a rapper or anything, but I never thought I could sing or dance. When I heard people on the radio, I was like, oh, I'm not as good as them. So I mean, that was a dream that was like deterred. Mm-hmm. So that I never thought past that. And then also I was a basketball star. Mm-hmm. So that's where everyone thought I was going. And then once that was just like destroyed, it was like, what now? Mm-hmm. Now I just figured I would just go and just get a nice job and build on that and have a white picket fence and grow in that. I don't know. I didn't know what I was going to be or what I was going to do. So the fact that I'm here now doing that, it's blowing my mind as much as it's blowing everybody, and probably more my mind than anybody else's mind, mm-hmm. really.
Well, you're an independent artist, right?
Mm-hmm.
And can you tell us a little bit more about that life, and what is it like to be an independent artist? I'm sure there are probably people who are listening right now wondering about the pros and cons, and if they're considering getting into the music industry. What would you tell them? Can you talk to us about your experience?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, being an independent artist, there's definitely pros and cons. The pros are it's you get the independence part of it, right? You're not controlled by a major label. There's no one over you telling you what to do, how to do it. There's no major contracts or anything like that. And again, I'm still new to this, so there's a lot about the music industry that I'm still learning myself. Mm-hmm. So being that I'm entering the music world where it's just a new era. Mm-hmm. So I can make music and put it out, and I don't have to worry about trying to get my music. It's just a new era with technology and the internet. You can get your music out. So it's different versus like the 90s and the early 2000s where you had to rely on a major label. So that's like the pros, right? Mm-hmm. But then at the same time, as an independent artist, at the negative part, the con is it is still a business. You still need money. Mm. And at the same time, this is the entertainment business. Yes. 90% of people out there want to be in the entertainment business. So the competition is very high, and trying to get people to listen to your music it's tough. I'm investing thousands and thousands of dollars and so many hours of my time for maybe people to listen. Maybe people will come to a show. Maybe people will support me. So it's a big risk that you're taking. It's a big gamble that you're taking. You're taking a big leap of faith mm-hmm. on something that may or may not happen. So
what would you say is like a day in the life of Keisha Beard?
Oh man, you know what? It's unpredictable. Sometimes I'll wake up and I'll go hiking. I call them dates with Jesus. Mm-hmm. I'll go out and I'll just go hike a mountain with my dog, and I'm out there for hours, and I'll pack a lunch and I'll read my Bible, and it's just great. I'm just at one with God and nature, and it's amazing. And then I'll come home and I'll just cook an amazing meal and then like red box it. And then there's other days where I'm so busy and I'm doing stuff like this and I'm working on music, or I'm at the studio and I'm mm-hmm. recording all day. I can't really pinpoint it, but I can tell you that I never want to get so comfortable with sitting in one place. There are some times in some seasons where it's required of me to sit still, but I never want to get so stagnant that I'm sitting still and doing nothing. I always want to grow. I always want to learn, and I always want to be better and stronger. Mm-hmm. So I'm always like talking to God and searching myself to be better, stronger, wiser.
Mm-hmm.
So I definitely.
And I think that shows through some of your music.
Stoked. Thank you, Jesus.
Well, there's a song that I was captivated by, and I know you also did a music video for it. It's called Get High, for those of you who want to check it out on her website, IamKeisha.com. And the show actually features local artists, and it's very captivating. And one of your lyrics, I mean, you have so many powerful lyrics. Like, I am so... when you said that you used to go through the dictionary and thesaurus, I understand. I can see I can see that shining through in how you write in your music. One of your lyrics says, if money is your motive, then you should stop while you're ahead. If you think money brings you back to life, then why are the men on cash dead? Tell us what pushed you to write that song, and tell us about that lyric.
It's really funny because when I wrote this song, I just finished completing the Transform album, and I never stopped working on music. I'm always writing music. And I had literally just finished the Transform album, recorded and everything, and just like submitted and put it out to the world to listen. But I had just heard that beat, and I was like, oh, this beat is so dope. It's good. So they got to hear it. They have to, people, what am I going to do with this beat? And sometimes I'll keep beats, and then sometimes beats, like words will just come to me. And so when I listened to that beat, I played it like 5 times after, like, what am I gonna do with this beat? And all that kept coming to me was get high, get high, get high. And I was like, ooh, get high on what though? It can't be like what people normally get high on, because that's not what I'm promoting. And so what I thought about was like dreams, motivation.
Oh, okay.
Like get high on your dreams, get high chasing life.
Yes.
And so I started writing it on that. And ironically, at that same time, what people didn't know was when I released the Transform album, I was literally struggling with, I was losing my eyesight. I was like, it was wild. Like I was getting migraines that were like out of this world, and I was losing my eyesight, and I was in and out of specialists. And they couldn't figure out what was going on with me. I really thought like I was having like a brain tumor. I was like waiting on the list to get seen by a neurologist. And so I was really struggling at that time. And I was like, and I was out of my job for like 2 months. So I was like struggling with money. It was just a really crazy time. So it was like a really big test of faith for me. So when I wrote that song, but at the same time, I felt the Holy Spirit was like, do you trust me? Do you trust me? So when I wrote that song, it was like I was just thinking about chasing my dreams, in the midst of chasing this music, even though I'm not nowhere near where I'm trying to be, but I have so much opposition against me, and I'm broke right now, right? So it's like, but do you still trust me? Do you still want to keep chasing your dreams? So if money is the motive, you might as well quit. Because if that's the case, I mean, there's dead men on the money. They're dead. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's just like a catchy phrase.
Yeah, no, it was powerful. Okay, so you talked about some of the things that you like to do outside of music for fun, and you talked about hiking and those type of things. But we also kind of want to know what, because your platform is a social conscious platform, what are some of the things happening in this world right now that you are passionate about and that you can speak to, that really drives you with some of your messages?
Well, there's so much going on in the world right now, for sure. And I am at this point, and this season this year has truly just what I've gone through on a personal level has humbled me, and I really have realized that words are powerful. You can speak life into something, you can speak death into something. So with that being said, I'm truly learning to let the Holy Spirit speak through me, and not let Keisha be the one that speaks. So now I'm learning that I'm often more quiet and listening more and speaking less. So even though I see a lot in the media and I see a lot of posts on social media and stuff like that, I'm in the season where I'm being quiet and I'm listening more, and I'm praying a lot more, and I'm just loving without boundaries. And I'm finding that I'm being more effective that way than versus just talking and posting like I used to do. So but the one thing that I will say of what I look around the world, there's 2 things that I want to say. For one, the one thing that that has my heart is homeless. The homeless have my heart. A lot of people don't know this about me, but I guess now they will. Part of my tithing that I do is I take every 2 weeks I take money and I go out and I buy lunches. I make lunches and I go out and I just feed the homeless.
Oh,
and
wow.
I write like
That's
notes
wonderful.
in there.
Do you do that independently?
Yeah. I just go out.
Wow.
Like I'm like, all right, Lord, where you need me? Who needs money? I mean, who needs food? Just what is needed? And he just sends me all over. Like yesterday, I was out in Everett, and I was driving up to my studio because I was recording a song yesterday. And before I even made it up to my studio, he made me go to Walmart, and there was a person sitting in front of Walmart, and it breaks my heart because I've never been homeless, but I know what it feels like to be unwanted.
By the grace of God, by the grace of God.
By the grace. I've never been homeless, but I know what it feels like to be unwanted and to feel unneeded. And it breaks my heart how many people walk by the homeless community and act as if they're better than them, and or just how they're looked down upon. And I don't know what it is, but I just have such a connection with them. So I had a lunch in my car, and I was like, yo, you hungry? And she's like, yeah. So I gave her some food, and I was like, do you want me to pray with you? And she's like, yeah. I was like, what do you want me to pray for you about? So she tells me, and then I sat down next to her. I was like, all right, Holy Spirit, what do you want me to say? And so we just, I started talking to her, and I prayed with her, and I was like, can I hug you? She's like, yeah. And I gave her a hug, and then I prayed for her as I was leaving. So it's like stuff like that, you know what I mean? That's what I just go around doing, and that's what I want to do, you know what I mean? Like, I want to be the hands and the feet. I don't care for money. I don't care for fame. I don't care for power. You asked Keisha 5 years ago, I would have cared for that, but now I want to love people. I want to die empty. I want God to get all the glory, and I want to love people without boundaries. So when I look around, as far as what I can see around the world, there's a lot that I want to say, and there's a lot of things that, because it's natural to, right? I'm a human being. So when I look around the world, this is what I can say is when you play in any game or any position that you're in, if you play by your enemy's standards and you play by your enemy's rules, you're going to lose every single time. But if you decide to stop reacting to your enemy's ploys and plots, and you decide to walk in truth, then you begin to walk in freedom.
Okay.
And because there is an enemy, right? There is an enemy, and the enemy is using people, places, and things as instruments to steal, kill, and destroy. But the problem is that we're looking at the enemy as the people, places, and things. We're looking at the instruments as the enemy, and that's not the enemy. And so that we're looking at those instruments as the enemy, and it's causing separation and division and hatred and racism. And so it's really hard to watch. So I find myself being like, okay, God, what do you need me? What do you want me to do? So I find myself in a situation now where I'm praying without ceasing. I'm just diving into my word daily so I can learn as much knowledge as humanly possible and wisdom as much as possible, and so that I can love without boundaries. So that's just where I'm at in this season.
So being that you are an athlete, that you've been in the athletic world, and I'm sure you're following Colin Kaepernick's story. And it's really heated up this week with Trump's comments and the taking the knee or staying in the locker room. And have you been following that? What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I of course I see it, and I follow it. I see both points of view on the people that oppose it and the people that oppose it. I don't, like I said, words are powerful. So for me, if anyone's followed me on social media, I haven't posted anything about it because God hasn't told me to say anything about it. Okay. So therefore, I naturally have something to say about it, but God's like, be quiet. So I'm like, you're right. Let me be quiet. So for me, I'm going to say no comment on the matter. But I just been praying. Okay. I pray that God's will be done on the matter. And what I can say is that it's beautiful to see on one end, it's beautiful to see the truth come out, because that's what's happening in the country is that the truth is coming out. And sometimes the truth is ugly. Yeah. but it's nice to see the truth out, because I'd rather see an ugly truth than a beautiful lie.
Mm-hmm.
And then on the flip side, and it's also nice to see unity in some areas.
Agreed. Definitely.
So I don't know where it's going.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. I find myself seeing that a lot lately. So I don't really have a comment on that. But what I will say is that I pray a lot, and I want God's will to be done. And I just want people to get closer to God. That's it.
Absolutely. It's interesting because listening to you, I'm learning a lot. And I'm sure our listeners are learning a lot. And, you're younger than me. But, that doesn't stop me from, there's so much wisdom that is being placed in you that you're bringing forward. And I just see great things coming forward for you through your music.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
What is next for Keisha?
Oh, man, it is so much. I feel like you can prematurely announce your moves, and it can cause like corruption in your moves. So there's some things that I'm working on that I won't announce, but know that big things are coming for me.
Yes.
And if anyone knows me, my goal is to give God glory and to raise and help increase people of this city.
Yes.
Like, those are my two goals, is to and I know by doing those two things, I will be blessed through those two things. So that's my two goals. So I can say this. I won't go into detail of what all those things are, but the biggest next thing that's going to happen that I can say is I'm coming out with my official album. The other two projects were just pretty much like mixtapes, but this is my official album called Soul Food.
Okay.
And I've been working on that since pretty much the beginning of the summer. I've been putting a lot of extra love and tender care into it. And I got some local people on the album, and it's so, like, I can't even believe how amazing this project is. And I'm so excited to release it.
Soul food.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, that sounds good.
Yeah.
Keisha, it has been such a pleasure to have you joining us on today in the studio for the Black Arts Love radio show. Is there anything else that you would like to share with us that you want to put out there regarding your music and your platform as an inspirational hip hop artist? Now, is that is that the best way to inspirational hip hop artist?
Yeah. I mean,
okay.
You can put it however you want. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm just a hip hop artist. I like, you could say it's inspirational. I mean, I just rap about everything. I mean, definitely I'm not going to do anything that's not inspirational or not positive, but sure. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, Miss Keisha Beard. Keisha, can we be seeing you at another Black Arts Love mixer and marketplace in the near future?
For sure. You just got to invite me and I'm there.
Okay.
But thank you for having me. This was fun.
Really fun. Our pleasure. If you guys would like to connect with Keisha, she has a website you can visit. It's IamKeishaBeard.com. You can learn more about her upcoming projects and her music. Again, we thank Keisha for joining us today. I hate to wrap it up. I wish we had more time. I could talk to her all day. But many blessings to you, Keisha, and may your music continue to inspire and lift people up. Higher. Let's get high. We're going to go in next to Keisha's song, Get High, as we break from Black Arts Love Radio Show.
This one's for the dreamers that are out here chasing dreams, that are out here chasing goals, no matter how hard it seems. With all the sleepless nights, the fights, and all the time invested, with all the money planning, man, it's like our patience tested. All work with no days off, I promise it's gonna take off. Them haters, they don't lay off, but hard work has its payoff. I appreciate those hearts of steel that had the skin to take a risk. Quit your job, invest your last, lose some friends and seize your wish. Take a leap of faith, my friend, seize the day of ceasing in. Sow the reaper, reap the blend, follow trends and start the trends. It's your choice, I hope you land on purpose, rock and build from there. Stay on track, but don't look back, it's really hard to build from there. Distractions are a hassle and temptations, they come dressed as dreams. Find your grind, take your time, don't mind the climb, and keep your team. If money is your motive, then you should stop while you're ahead. If you think money brings you back to life, then why is the man on the cash so dead? These waters here are too deep for that. Don't try to swim if you're just a shallow, cause you'll get pulled in by the current, or you'll get sucked in by the shadows. It's a balance of weakness and strength. It's hard to keep your spirit alive, but hustle hard, you will get far. Just keep your eyes up on the prize. Turn this beat up loud and pound out all the haters. Turn your dreams on high and fly as hot as vapors. Get high, 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 get high. Get high. This one's for the go-getters, and this one's for the makers, and this one's for the hustlers, and this one's for the chasers. I appreciate those hearts of gold that don't really mind if they come in last. Don't really mind if they come up short. They don't base what they make and take on cash. I appreciate those humble hearts, ain't afraid to be broke as hell, ain't afraid to go and fund they dream. Take a leap of faith with the risk of fail. No shoes by that Michael, no cable and no iPhone. We can barely keep our lights on, but them dreams flooding like cyclones. I hope you get your chance to rise, but don't let your head take you off the ground. Don't let your pride take you out the game, and don't let your stripes take you off the mound. We think we're old cause we work real hard, but that's what makes us fall the fastest. Privileged minds get the realest lessons. If you cannot grow, then you're made for caskets. But I pray you live, I pray you grow, I pray you flourish, and I pray you soar. I pray you plant, I pray you make, I pray it's grand, and I pray for more. Cause I know what it's like to have so much strive, a little support and limited funds, limited reach and limited sun. But it's a new day, hold up your ones. Turn this beat up loud and pound out all the haters. Turn your dreams on high and fly as hot as vapors. Get high, 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 get high. Get high. This one's for my day ones, and this one's for the same ones that bump my tunes and rep me hard. Y'all keep me sauced, it's A1. Y'all share the love and hug my dreams, lift my soul and self-esteem, promote the goal don't never seen. Y'all never know the glow it brings. Appreciate those hard rock fans and never break or fall off track. Come to shows, lift your hands, learn the words and rap it back. Appreciate them loyal cats that send me fans and share my posts. Link my name, send me love, give me props and keep me close. No fame like these idols, don't care to gain these titles. I'm just trying to reach and dial, I'm just trying to share my trials. I hope y'all hear these songs and know it's real. This love is thick as thieves, it's dope and well, I'll never fail as long as y'all behind these dreams. Turn this beat up loud and pound out all the haters. Turn your dreams on high and fly as hot as vapors. Get high, 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 get high. Turn this beat up loud and pound out all the haters. Turn your dreams on high and fly as hot as vapors. Get high, 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 get high. Hey man, you gotta keep chasing them dreams. I know it's tough, I know it's hard, and sacrifice costs a lot. Get high on your dreams, it's worth it. Get high.